All right, listen up, man. Let's get right down to it. You read the title. It's time to talk about why NoFap is making you neurotic. Yes, sir. Let me say that again for the people in the back. Listen up, my guy. The whole trend, the whole challenge, the whole idea, concept, and fad of NoFap is making you neurotic, motherfucker. And you might be wondering, okay, man, what does that even mean, bro? You out here talking about semen retention, celibacy. Now you're telling me NoFap is gonna make me neurotic? Well, what's going on? Make that make sense. Well, relax. Relax. Relax, my guy. I'm gonna need you to just take a deep breath. Come on, do it with me. Get yourself grounded because it's time for your boy to break this bitch down real quick like a brick for y'all. So first things first, what you must come to understand along this journey that we call life is that you as a man have been molded to be a slave to your sexual cravings. Let that marinate in your motherfucking mind. Let that sink into your psyche, my guy. You as a man have been molded by the matrix, the Maya, the illusion, the material world to become a slave to your sexual cravings, to your sexual urges. And what most people do in the modern day world is go the complete opposite way. This is what the general advice is all about. Stop fapping, no fap, no nut November. They believe that if they stop ejaculating, if they stop beating their meat, if they stop hooking up with random girls, that their whole life, all the problems in life will be solved. I'm telling you right now, man, NoFap is actually more dangerous than you might think, than what you have been led to believe. Because this whole idea of not fapping is okay on the surface level, but if you're truly trying to actually utilize your sexual energy, your sexual power, your vital force as a tool to transcend as a man on the mental, physical, and spiritual planes, you can't just stop fapping and just hope everything will just come all together, click, and you'll be fine. You see, what NoFap does is it demonizes the sexual act. It demonizes all the things in the external world. I'm just being honest with you, bro. Porn isn't evil. Sex isn't evil. None of this shit is evil. For some people out there, they have been so consciously elevated and evolved to a point that these poisons, porn, sex, alcohol, drugs, all that stuff, become medicine to them. Because they're so elevated beyond those carnal confines. What do I mean by the carnal confines? You see, when your consciousness is stuck in its lower states, these things such as pornography, such as degeneracy, such as sexual promiscuity, such as drugs, alcohol, whatever it is, all these addictions and attachments, they siphon your energy because you become a slave to them. You see what I'm saying? You picking up what I'm putting down? You become a slave to them. That's where quote unquote becomes detrimental or evil to you. But when you take back control of your own consciousness, you release it from those confines of the carnal mind, you break free from those attachments, and you replace those addictions, none of this shit phases you anymore. You can have be in the movie theater with pornography playing right in front of you and you're not gonna be affected by it. You're not gonna be fazed by it. Because your mind has transcended beyond that. NoFap don't teach you that shit, bro. Because what NoFap is trying to do is close off one gate of energy, aka the sexual gate. That's just step one of this process, bro. You have to realize that energy cannot be created nor destroyed, but only transferred from one form to another. Let me say that again, write it down. Tattoo it on your arm if you need to. Energy cannot be created nor destroyed, but only transferred from one form to another. Your sexual energy also plays by these same rules. Not fapping is not allowing that energy to be expressed because you don't know how to actually transmute convert and preserve this energy into another form. Propel it to your higher faculties. Propel it towards pushing you to accomplish your purpose. NoFap doesn't teach you that. The whole purpose of this idea of NoFap is the main goal. How many days have you not touched your wiener? How many days have you not beat your meat? How many days you haven't hooked up with a girl? How many days you haven't watched porn? That's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. You are running away from the boogeyman. Eventually you're gonna run out of breath. Eventually you're gonna run out of willpower. And when you fall down, that boogeyman's gonna bring you right down back to where you belong, because you have not consciously elevated. You're just consciously closing off a gate. You see what I'm saying? You must evolve beyond lust. You must transcend lust instead of trying to fight against it. It's a never-ending battle if you try to go against it mano a mano. You gotta mature psychically. You gotta mature spiritually and realize that lust is not evil. No matter what book, what religion tells you, lust is not evil. Lust is just a way this energy is expressed. The problem resides when you become a slave to it. When it is poison to you. When you have no control over it. It's a compulsive habit rather than a conscious action. Do you think the same lust, because if we're being honest, lust is needed to create kids. You're not going to be in this state of just pure detachment while you're creating a baby. Lust is a state of consciousness that you can tap into to create a kid. It's the only reason you're here. It's the only reason I'm here. It's the only reason half this shit is here. That cosmic force. But what's wrong is that the world around you is using your own biological drive, is using lust against you, is using your libido, better yet, against you. I don't even like using the word lust. Let's replace it with libido, your sex drive. That sexual drive, your libido, can be leveraged for other things. Right now, you are being hijacked of your libido. And most people believe that NoFap is the solution. NoFap is the end-all, be-all cure. How many days can I not touch my wiener? Can I not touch my cock? Can I not touch my dick? And then I'll be good to go. 100 days, 90 days, 200 days. I promise you, you can hit whatever day you want. But you could just as easily fall right back down. Because you are running away from the boogeyman. You're not actually running towards divine bliss. Let me say that again. You're running away from the boogeyman instead of running towards divine bliss. And what's the difference? This is the difference between NoFap and celibacy, or NoFap and what some people call semen retention, and the true divine paths of brahmacharya. You see, brahmacharya is what this whole journey is all about. Semen retention is all about. Brahma means God, acharya means path to. Am I saying that if you just retain your seed, you'll find the pathway to God? No, but that's the purpose behind this act. For some people that are still living on the surface level, they just want to quit porn, that's totally fine. But this channel ain't for you, bro. This channel ain't for you. I'm talking to the men who are truly ready to transcend, who are trying to use their sexual energy as a tool to uplift themselves mentally, physically, and spiritually. I'm talking to the men that want to leverage their libido towards creating the life that they were always meant to live. That same energy that can create another human being can create the life that you're always meant to live, can create the ideas that you were always meant to express, then can create that connection back to your true self. That's how powerful this energy is, aka how powerful this prana is. It's a form of electricity. And when you learn how to harness that energy and raise it up through other practices, you're going to be able to stimulate your higher centers, your higher faculties. This is the whole art of yoga. Yoga don't mean just stretching. It is the pathway to create a unification in your mind and the divine through specific practices. SR is a tool for that. It is a super fuel for your sadhana, for your spiritual practices. We just dropped a video literally titled that. If you haven't watched that yet, I would definitely go run it up after this. Your sexual energy is a super fuel for that sadhana. But most people, when they practice nofap, they don't realize that their sexual energy is just being repressed more and more and more and more. And this is why I'm saying nofap is gonna make you fucking neurotic. If you don't actually transmute this energy, it's going to pop your psyche. It's gonna pop within your brain. You're gonna be like a water balloon that has too much water built up and eventually rips open. That's the neurotic dangers of nofap. You see a lot of people, when they talk about semen retention, nofap, whatever you want to call it, they talk about, man, I get so fucking angry. Man, I feel so frustrated. Man, I just want to bang that girl. Man, I just want to go beat my meat. Because you're not actually transmuting that energy. It's stuck within that sexual gate. But imagine this. All this energy is building up, but there's no way for it to go. You don't know how to transmute it to the higher gates, and you have closed off this one. You're saying, I'm never going to fap again. I'm never going to watch porn again. So this energy is going to build up, build up, build up, build up, and build up to the point where it literally, you cannot escape it. And it pops. It makes you neurotic. It makes you go crazy. It is inflaming your brain. That's why it's dangerous, man. And that's why a lot of people fail on this path. They remain a slave to sexuality. They remain a slave to their senses. Because the world around them, again, the Maya, the Matrix, the illusion, keeps you stuck within that field by feeding you pornography, by feeding you promiscuity, by feeding you all the degenerate habits that are right in front of your face, right in front of your screen, every time you hop online. And at the same time, they withhold this ancient knowledge, this ancient information. Name another person on the internet that's really breaking these things down. I'm not saying, hey man, look at me. But what I'm saying is there are tools, tips, and techniques that very few people ever tap into because they believe that if they just don't bust a nut, everything else will connect for them. Everything in life will unfold for them in the right way it's supposed to be. Semen retention, celibacy, that's not how it works. Your energy cannot be created nor destroyed. You can't destroy lust. So many fucking dumbasses title shit on YouTube. Battle lust, defeat lust, kill your flesh. What the fuck is wrong with y'all, man? The hell is going on? This is all surrounded around that anti-vitalistic, movements that all these Abrahamic religions, Christianity, Judaism, Islam promote. They want you to go against your flesh. The true Eastern teachings of Dharma teach you how to utilize your brain and body as tools to transcend your consciousness into the point where you can awaken to your divinity. That's what Tantra literally means. Some of you guys may have heard that concept of Tantra, tantric sex. Of course, here in the West, we take everything from the East, butcher it down, make it stupid, and McDonaldize it. Tantra is a technology of using your body and using your brain and using all the energy within it, including your sexual energy, to awaken the spirit, awaken the soul. That's what brahmacharya is, aka the pathway to God, using your sexual energy as a tool to transcend. That's what semen retention celibacy was actually intended to do. Not how many days you haven't touched your dick and balls. I need y'all to mature a little bit. I need y'all to start elevating a little bit more. Because, again, the mainstream concepts and ideas of this practice are so watered down to the point that most men will never, ever, ever realize the true potential of this practice. And it's sad. It's fucking pathetic, to be honest. You're just getting fed misinformation. And you're being fed this fad and idea of nofap, no nut November. None of this shit is going to work. I promise you, it's not going to work. And it's going to, fun enough, make you neurotic. You're going to be a crash out. You're going to be someone that's always mentally and psychically inflamed. because that energy doesn't have another release valve, doesn't have an outlet. Just conserving your sexual energy is step one along the way. It isn't the whole journey. It isn't the whole game. You have to learn how to actually use it in other ways. And a lot of people, they comment on my channel. They shoot me DMs on Instagram. They ask me all these questions. Hey man, I really like your content. Really like the concepts around sexual energy, semen retention, spiritual growth. But I don't want to do all these weird practices from the East. Cool, don't do it. Don't do it and remain stuck in that little container of nofap, being a neurotic person. And even though you might not feel those effects of neuroticism just yet, of it inflaming you, it's the other side of it. It makes you neurotic to the point where it pumps up your ego. The energy has nowhere to go. So where does the energy go? Gets lodged in your brain, making you think, oh man, all these girls are looking at me because I haven't fucking touched my cock. All these people, all these good stuff has happened to me because I haven't done the deed. It makes you believe in a delusion. And a lot of people feed you more information to believe in that delusion. Hey man, at this day, all this female attraction is gonna happen, this and that, making you neurotic, motherfucker. I'm telling you what this practice is really intended to be. A pathway for you to activate your latent spiritual powers, to feed your higher faculties. That same energy that's feeding your reproductive organs can feed your higher states of spiritual regeneration. But most people, again, don't realize that. They don't get into the depths. They don't get into the knowledge. And again, they become neurotic. They become neurotic on the egotistical sense. I have a full video literally titled, Don't Let Semen Retention Make You an Egotistical Weirdo. If you want more information about that, go check that out. We have that poll right there for you when it comes to neuroticism, making you angry, making you just delusional, making you inflamed. And we have the other side, making you egotistical, making you think that you're a man, making you think that you're the center of the universe. The true path of the mystic, the true path of the sage, the true path of the spiritual aspirant is using his sexual energy to release all the karmic bondage that's keeping him tied down from ever realizing what he is beyond the brain and body and what it is he was really brought here to do. NoFap is never, ever, ever, ever going to teach you that, because that energy is never being transcended and ascended up your spine to the point where you come into realization, where you activate those latent spiritual powers, where you animate the spirit, the soul that is asleep, that is stuck in a state of spiritual amnesia. You won't get that by these surface level ideas of NoFap. But you'll be sold lies. You'll be told the fairy tale that all this female attraction is going to happen at this exact date. That all the good luck is going to happen at this exact date. And you start, funny enough, what happens too with NoFap and how it makes you neurotic, you start to connect your self-worth to how much semen is being held up in your nutsack. So you have one slip up along the way. You feel like you're a sack of shit, a piece of shit now. Because your self-worth is connected to, again, how much semen you're holding within your nutsack. You see how much more rooted it makes you into the body, when in reality, what this practice is meant to do is release you from that illusion? Do you see what I'm saying? Are you picking up what the fuck I'm putting down? It makes you more connected to the external world and this external being. How many days I haven't busted it out? Okay, what, day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5. External. And again, you're running away from the boogeyman. Eventually, the willpower is going to break down because you're running away instead of running towards something. You're running from fear of relapsing rather than running towards true spiritual fulfillment. That's the difference. That's the difference between what most people teach and what I'm teaching. And what I'm teaching is not something that I made up. I'm just breaking down the ancient wisdom, the ancient knowledge that's already been said and done. Focus on the message, forget about the messenger. Ecclesiastes chapter 8, verse 9. There is nothing new under the sun. The true sages, the mystics amongst the geniuses, the spiritual giants that have walked this plane of existence, the true awakened men, have already laid down the blueprint of how mankind can reach back to these states, these conscious states of divine bliss. Semen retention, celibacy, and sexual energy being a huge part of it. A piece of the puzzle, but it isn't the whole puzzle. That's the difference about what we break down over here on this channel, on the main channel, The Philosopher. If you don't know about the main channel yet, my guy, you're missing out. Because that's what we're doing all of our documentary style content. Our nice cut, clean edited content. If you wanted more of these topics that are presented in a very visually appealing, entertaining way, that's what we're cooking up over on the main channel, The Philosopher. This channel, The Philosopher Files, is the second channel where we do all of our raw talks, no cuts, no edits, as you see right here. So if you enjoy that, that's what we're doing over on this channel. If you would like to tap into more of the entertaining and engaging content, that's what we got on the main channel. The link to the main channel will be posted in the description box down below. Just click that, be forwarded to the main channel. You can get up on so much game and so much sauce that we're also breaking down here, but in a different style, in a different format. But also, underneath the description box, underneath the link to the main channel, The Philosopher, you'll find a link to my Instagram. So if you ever want to talk about these topics, chop it up about these different concepts, my DMs are always open. Just shoot me a message and we'll talk about it, man. But again, the stuff that we talk about on this channel, the main channel, The Philosopher, again, description box down below, as well as my Instagram, the stuff that we talk about on the private Patreon community. Matter of fact, let's take a quick pause. A quick motherfucking pause. Because if I'm talking to those men who are truly trying to transcend, who are realizing the facade of nofap, who are realizing that yes, it is making them neurotic, but they actually want to learn how to leverage their libido to actually use it as a tool towards spiritual liberation, listen up. If that's you, listen up right now. I'm gonna need you to pause whatever that you're doing. Find the closest mirror to you. I don't care if it's in a car window. I don't care if it's in the selfie camera of your phone. I don't care if it's in your bathroom. Whatever you gotta do, go in front of that mirror and take a good, hard look. Take a good, hard look in the mirror. Get a real nice mental picture. Really analyze that person that's staring right into your eyes and staring right into your soul when you look into that mirror. Because I need you to realize that you're doing him, not me, the guy that's staring right into your eyes and staring right into your motherfucking soul, a huge disfavor by not joining up into the private Patreon community. Again, if you're one of those true spiritual aspirants that is trying to awaken to their divine potential. Because I'm telling you, man, we are truly uncovering the esoteric science of self-mastery over there in a way, in a format, in a style that you have never seen before. I'm talking about exclusive videos that you're gonna find on this channel, you ain't gonna find on the main channel. Matter of fact, you ain't gonna find it anywhere else on the internet, because this is some real deal game, real deal sauce for your motherfucking brain to help you elevate on every single plane. You dig what I'm saying? I'm talking about the mental, physical, and spiritual. You'll start to understand the depths of practices like SR, celibacy, instead of being stuck in the surface level self-improvement, circus teaching you about nofap. Most people are gonna be stuck on the surface level, but I'm guessing if you made it this far into the video, you're sick and tired of being stuck on the surface level and you're ready to ascend and, better yet, transcend. And this is what this community is all about, the Patreon community. So not only will you get access to all those exclusive videos, but also our full guides, our in-depth occult lectures, our digital libraries, and most importantly, if you tap into the Philosopher Circle of the private Patreon community, aka the highest membership tier, you'll get an invitation to our private group chat where we host our bi-weekly mastermind live calls. Yes, sir, you heard me right. Bi-weekly mastermind live calls where you hop on a call with me as well as a community of like-minded men who are also on this path of self-mastery, who are also learning how to use their sexual energy as a tool to transcend and ascend, instead of being stuck in the neurotic tendencies of people who are practicing NoFap. If you want to be surrounded with people who are on that same path, who are on that same journey, who will hold you accountable, who want to see you elevate, and better yet, want to see you liberate, I'm telling you, my guy, the Philosopher's Circle is the place for you. I can 100% guarantee that. But if you need any more information about the Philosopher's Circle and the private Patreon community as a whole, check out the link posted in the pinned comment of this video, not the description box. Again, the description box is where you'll find the link to the main channel, The Philosopher, as well as my Instagram. I'm talking about the pinned comment. Just scroll down in the comment section, click that link, you'll be forwarded to our page, and that's where you'll find access to be able to sign up for the private Patreon community, as well as links to the other services I provide, such as application forms for my personalized coaching program. Look, if you're someone who's truly serious about transcending, about leveraging their libido as a tool to create a new life, to create the life that they're always dharmically designed to live. What I mean by dharmically, I'm talking about this means your destiny. You are destined by the divine to live out this life. You have a specific purpose that is encoded within your DNA by God to be able to actually fulfill your soul and actually liberate yourself from the material world. You have that encoded within you. If you're ready to discover what that is, this is what this coaching program is all about, because what we do there is create a systemized approach for you personally to dissolve your karmas, aka the attachments, aka the degenerate habits, aka all the bullshit that is holding you back from ever realizing your divine potential, in order to again discover your dharma, discover your destiny, discover what it is that you were really brought here to do and who it is that you were always meant to be, instead of just being stuck within the cycle of the matrix, of conformity, of mediocrity. If you're sick and tired of living in that cycle, if you're sick and tired of being a slave to your senses, if you're sick and tired of just simply being stuck on the surface level of existence, this is what this program is about, to help you break free from that by actually giving you the tools throughout the esoteric science of self-mastery that will help you break free mentally, physically, and spiritually. So if you're interested in that, again, if you're truly serious, shoot me an application by clicking that link right down below in the paid comment of this video. Click that link, click the application form, fill it out, and we'll see if your entry meets the criteria for this coaching program. But if you just want to book a one-time call with your boy to discuss anything that you're currently dealing with so we can get you back on the right track towards your true self, that's what we got the consultation calls as well for. So all that good stuff posted in the pinned comment of this video, just click that link, you'll be forwarded to our page, and from there you can pick and choose which one of these services best suits you. But like I was saying, all the stuff that we talk about on this channel, the main channel, aka The Philosopher, description box down below, make sure you go run it up, motherfucker. On the private Patreon community especially, and especially within my coaching program, is all about redesigning how your internal system works, your mind, your body, and your soul. Because you have specific energies within you, like your sexual energy, that can either become an enemy for your soul's elevation, or it could be an ally for your spiritual ascension. There's a great quote from Osho that I always bring up, and he states, "The mind can either be a beautiful servant or a horrible master." I like to expand that a little bit more. The brain and body can either become horrible masters that suffocates the soul, or they can become the greatest allies to help elevate your spirit. The difference in between the two is the journey of self-mastery. And again, that's what we talk about here on this channel, the main channel, the Patreon, in my coaching program. It's the esoteric science of self-mastery. Because you have to go beyond the surface level into these esoteric practices to be able to truly understand, better yet understand, how to actually manipulate your own brain and body as tools to transcend your spirit. NoFap is on the surface level. It's never going to teach you that. And that's why it makes people more neurotic than it actually helps them get closer to nirvana. That's a bar, write it down. And NoFap makes you more neurotic than it brings you closer to nirvana. A lot of people are sold a lie that if they just retain their semen, they're good to go. No, man, you have to actually learn how to use that energy now. You finally stop leaking the energy. Now you got to learn how to start leveraging it. Step one, yeah, stop leaking. And funny enough, if you really want to stop leaking, you still need practices in place to stop leaking. And most people don't tell you that. They just say, okay, just don't watch porn, don't do this, don't do that. You're going to go back to all that bullshit because you've been so accustomed to it. You must replace your addictions. You must figure out what it is that liberates your soul, that feeds your soul. Something that is so much more fulfilling that you don't even think about these lower level pleasures anymore. I'm at a point where I don't give a fuck about that stuff, man. I found something that is so much more fulfilling to me. I'm not running away from the boogeyman. I'm running towards true bliss. That's the difference. And self-mastery is a bridge that connects you from those lower states to these higher states. Very few people will actually walk up this mountain of self-mastery. But if I'm talking to you as a man who is ready to actually make that journey, you have to realize that NoFap is making you neurotic, and you got to stop that crap. You got to stop listening to the NoFap, information, and you got to start getting into the depths of this ancient discipline. NoFap is like a challenge, 75 hard challenge. You're eventually going to crack. You're eventually going to stop. But a true discipline gets impressed within your system. It is a discipline rather than a challenge. It is a form of a spiritual practice rather than it is a physical task of, restraining yourself. NoFap isn't like taking a cold shower. It shouldn't feel like a sacrifice. It shouldn't feel difficult. If it feels difficult, if it feels like a sacrifice, first of all, it's because your psyche is so used to that constant state of release. But also, you don't know how to actually give that energy another outlet. So that's why it feels so constricting to you, constricting to your consciousness. If you want to release yourself out of that without releasing your seed, you have to realize the pathways to bring this energy and redirect it towards higher outlets, creative outlets, whether that's art, music, business, whatever it is. You need a physical outlet, a mental outlet, you need a spiritual outlet, and you need specific practices to be able to uphold those outlets. NoFap don't teach you that, and it's going to make you neurotic, bro. So if you've made it this far into the video, there's a reason why. You are realizing this somehow, some way, shape, and form. That means you cannot remain in the same little bubble. And that little bubble must be popped, and hopefully this video popped it for you. But now since the bubble is popped, where do you go? You must go on the path of self-mastery. That's the only option for you. I'm not trying to say, oh, you have to do it, you have to do it. No, that's the only mountain left. NoFap is an illusion. Self-improvement is an illusion. Self-mastery is the only thing that's truly there because it leads you to your true self. It helps you go beyond the brain and body. Semen retention is supposed to help you along that path. It's not supposed to make you more rooted within the brain and body that NoFap does. NoFap makes your sense of self-worth connected to your streak, connected to how many nuts you didn't bust. That's nonsense. Retention, brahmacharya, celibacy brings you towards your true self because you break free from the bonds that are making you a slave to survival, sex, and status. When you break free from that, your consciousness starts to ascend up to your higher faculties and you tap into states of gnosis, which means knowledge that can only be found from within. And this knowledge, this gnosis that's found from within, gives you a direct line to your dharma, to your destiny. Because I don't know your dharma, to be honest with you, bro. I don't know anybody's dharma but myself. Nobody knows your dharma. Not your dad, not your mom, not your guru, not your teachers. Only you do. But what I do know is how to actually cut those karmas that are blocking you from ever discovering that dharma. Remember, the dharma, I always say this, dharma is like the sun. The sun is always out. Some days it's cloudy, some days rainy, some days snowing. Doesn't mean the sun is not out. If you're in a place that's really cold right now, go look up in the sky. If the sun is not out, don't think that the sun is not there. It's behind the clouds, behind the rain, behind the snow. And that is like your true self, hidden within yourself, behind all these karmas. You must remove the clouds, remove the snow, remove the rain, and better yet, on this analogy, remove your karmas to discover your dharma, to see the sun. because there is a pathway that is literally divinely encoded within you that will lead you to a life of so much liberation. Doesn't matter how many cars, money, clothes, or hoes you have, no thing can ever replace your dharma. This is what's natural to you. This is what you are designed to do. The depression, the anxiety that you feel, and the coping mechanisms such as pornography, such as hookup culture, such as junk food, are ways for you to mask the realization that you're not in alignment to your dharma. When you are in alignment to your dharma, you don't need external things to give you any satisfaction anymore. You find it all from within, because this is what you were brought here to do. It's natural to you. For some people, again, it's art, it's music, it's business, it's this, it's that. It don't matter what it is. But I'm telling you, you already know what it is. You have just forgotten it. You're stuck in a state of spiritual amnesia. Semen retention, celibacy, brahmacharya, what it's meant to do is help you bring you back to that state of self-realization. Realizing, oh, yeah, man, I'm not just a brain and body. My sense of self-worth is not just how many days I haven't busted a nut. These degenerate habits are simply just distractions. They're not a fucking battle that I got to face. If you view pornography, if you view sexual addiction as a battle you must go out and fight, you're wasting so much energy. What I want you to treat it like is, imagine you're playing a video game. In that video game, the campaign has one main story, one main mission. But there's side quests. These are side quests. Pornography is a side quest. Degeneracy is a side quest. And this is distracting you from the main mission. It isn't a battle that you got to face. You just got to detach from it. If you're trying to battle something, you have to win it. And you're never going to win against your own biology unless you go ahead and cut your dick and balls, man. I'm telling you, you're always going to have sexual urges. So you have to learn how to not let these sexual urges be distracted into these side quests and actually direct it towards your main mission. You see what I'm saying? There is a difference with what I'm breaking down versus the main majority of people talking about this shit online. There's levels to this shit, my boy. Levels to this shit. And if you're ready to shift, this is the path you must take. The journey of self-mastery. And if you're struggling along the way, bro, of semen retention, and you're seeing how NoFap, yes, is making you neurotic, and you have not tapped into the Art of Retention ebook written by yours truly, man, you're missing out. You're missing out. You might be missing out on the Patreon. You might be missing out on the Philosopher's Circle, the coaching program, my consultations, but come on, man. This is a free ebook for the free $99 that's discussing everything you need to succeed along this journey. So if you have not tapped into that yet, man, you are missing out. Right now, go on the main channel, The Philosopher, again, description box down below. Matter of fact, just go in the YouTube search bar, type in how to succeed on semen retention. You'll find a full video guide on the main channel, The Philosopher. Click that and watch all the video. You'll get all the sauce, all the game you need to succeed, and also the link to find your free copy of the Art of Retention ebook. And the book goes even more in depth and more in detail to all the introductory practices that you need in place and all the introductory knowledge you need in place to actually make this a successful spiritual discipline for you, rather than a neurotic fucking habit and challenge that eventually is going to crack under pressure. And look, if you got ADHD, you can't read, you're dyslexic, you're retarded, whatever it is, your boys got you covered with a full audio series of the Art of Retention ebook over on the main channel, The Philosopher. Go on the main channel, again, description box down below. Go in the playlist section, click the Art of Retention audio series, and get up on some games so you ain't out here looking like a lame, like most people who are neurotic because they're practicing NoFap, who are neurotic because they're just retaining their semen for how many days, so focused on the streak. If you want to break free from that and actually see the true power of this practice, not the surface level benefits that most people talk about, I'm talking about the internal shift that you make. I'm telling you, man, you got all the tools right there for you. And if you still need any more guidance, you still need more support, you want to get even more in depth with the knowledge about this practice, that's what we got the private Patreon community for. That's what we got the Philosopher's Circle for. That's what we got my personalized coaching program for. Again, all that good stuff is posted in the pinned comment of this video. That's for those men who are truly ready to transcend. If you just need a beginner journey, that's what the Art of Retention ebook is all about. And again, there's a bunch of more content on my main channel about these different types of topics, but I just had to talk about this. Why NoFap is making you neurotic. If you made it this far into the video, you realize what I'm saying. You are listening to this for a reason. First of all, you're already in the 1% of the population that's not suffering from brain rot. I always say that the people who watch the second channel, right here in the field, in the flesh, dropping y'all that game so you guys can make these gains. You dig what the fuck I'm saying? no cuts, no edits, just straight up speaking off the dome, you're already more spiritually and psychologically mature than the masses. And I need you to mature more too when it comes to this practice of SR. Ditch the nofap facade, bro. Start to master the self. SR is a part of the puzzle when it comes to mastering yourself. It isn't the whole thing. But when it comes to nofap, it's like that's the magic pill. You stop busting your nuts, you'll be fine. That's just step one. If you truly want to transcend. Most people stuck on the surface level. I'm guessing that you're not. You would already clicked off this video. So instead of just letting this knowledge marinate in your mind, turn that knowledge into gnosis, which resides in the heart. First-hand experience. You have all the tools to actually go make it happen, but I need you to ditch the nofap facade and actually partake along your own individual journey up this mountain of self-mastery, learning how to leverage your libido as a tool to liberate your soul. Not as a fucking challenge that's eventually gonna make your consciousness crack because how much energy that you're holding up within yourself by repressing it. Enough with that, bro. Enough with that. Enough with that. Nofap is making you neurotic. But SR, celibacy, and brahmacharya, the true divine path, will actually bring you towards your destiny, towards your dharma as you consciously evolve. There's a difference between the two. You make the choice. And I'm guessing if you made it this far into the video, you're going to make the right choice. Because you can listen to all this stuff, but never take action. And when it comes to people, that are in the self-help community, self-improvement community, that watch book or read book after book, watch video after video, and never take action, they are called mental masturbators. I'm talking to you right now, motherfucker. You a spiritual masturbator if you're not actually taking action with all of this knowledge that I'm breaking down over here. You must see it firsthand for yourself. And the first step you need to take is realizing that nofap, yes, is making you neurotic. And the switch of option that you must make is to actually walk up your own mountain of self-mastery, learning how to leverage your brain and body as tools to transcend your spirit. Rather than battling lust, fighting against your flesh, you learn how to tame it and make it a tool to transcend. Rather than fighting against, pornography, fighting against hookup culture, you actually learn how to unlock your mind and be unfazed by the external world, so it's used as a tool to transcend. There's a total big difference. Hopefully you're picking up what I'm putting down, but let's end it off right there, bro. I need you to let this stuff marinate in your mind and sink into your psyche. It's been your boy out here in the field, in the flesh, dropping out that game so you guys can make these gains. I'm out here. Peace.